Hello there, Chicuz.
Welcome to Chicuz Radio, where two cousins share their journey of self love, personal growth, and adulting in general. We are your hosts, Chelsea,
And Aika.
inviting you to join us in this week's episode.
Tara, let's make Chica. Hello, Chicas. Welcome to the show. Sobrang na-excite ako. Hi, Cuz. Kumusta ka naman?
Hello, guys. Yes, I'm so excited. Finally, after a lot of months of contemplating, we're finally starting our podcast.
Yay!
Woo! This is both out of our comfort zone and I'm so excited for the both of us. Yes, that's how I'm feeling right now. As in, yes, feeling expert. Kala mo talaga yung podcast na. Welcome listeners of the show. Tama ba?
Yay! Of course, listeners of the show and whoever's watching in YouTube. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, so I guess it's right that we start introducing ourselves first.
Yes. Sino ba yung mga pinapakinggan nyo? Sino ba tong dalawang girlies na to? Nag-uusap.
Okay, want to start, Cuz?
Okay, sige. I'll go ahead. Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea, and I am a preschool teacher here in the Philippines. And yeah, still on my journey of self love, self acceptance, growth, and yeah, still making sure that I enjoy life because that's what life is all about. So, how about you?
My turn. Hello. I am Aika, and I'm an OFW who is currently residing in Singapore. Hello, hello mga ka-Singapore dyan. Kumusta naman kayo? And I'm also a millennial like Chelsea. And yeah, same as her, I'm still trying to figure out how to adult in this life. That's it.
Yes, and if hindi nyo pa nagagrasp, we're cousins.
Oh, yeah. Oo nga pala, yung nakalimutan natin sabihin. Hindi yung okay
Yes.
nga. We're
Yeah.
cousins.
If you haven't read our description in the channel or in the podcast channel, yeah, we're cousins and we're in a long distance relationship.
Medyo mahirap ang long distance. Magwa 1 decade na kaming long distance.
Pero we're super close to each other. We literally grew up together.
Yes.
Like she's my big sister. I'm the eldest in my family, so I didn't um have anyone to look up to or to talk to. So si Ate Aika, sorry.
Oh my
Si
God,
Ate
I'm ate.
Aika, yung someone I had when I was growing up. So we're that close. If you're watching this in YouTube, makikita niyo yung ginagawa ko. We're this close.
But, okay, so jumping off, so sinabi niya na she is the eldest in the family. Ako naman, I'm the only child. So having her and the rest of my cousins is really such a blessing for me kasi I feel na I still have siblings. So whenever like people ask me na, isn't it lonely that you're an only child? Like growing up, you don't have someone like to play with. But then I'm like, no, because literally grew up with my cousins. So it wasn't such a big deal for me that I didn't, well, I still don't have siblings.
Growing up also, just a bit of a background. Para may background din sila on why our logo looks like that. I just want to add, now when we were growing up, si Ate Aika, siya yung blue. So all her stuff are in color blue and mine's all in color pink. And then we will both have the same things. So for example, like our adults, our grown-ups will buy us a shirt. So kay Ate Aika, yung version na color blue and then mine's the color pink. So we combined it together. That's why our logo looks like that. It has the pink and blue theme. So it's the both of us. It represents
Yes.
us.
Yes, exactly.
And when we grew up, after college, you went to Singapore.
Yes.
Singapore, sorry. You went to Singapore and started your life there. Adult ka na. And then I was in college. Tama ba?
Yes.
I was in college. And then after graduating college, I think dun tayo sobrang naging close ulit kasi we were both figuring out how to adult.
Exactly.
And actually, that's also how um, we built this relationship of always discussing things on how to do this and how to do that. And we're also both into self growth, into personal growth, personal development. Like we're both bookworms, so we share the things that we share the our learnings in the books that we read or like the podcasts. So eto na. Recently, parang 2 years ago ba, parang we got into podcasts.
I think it started with Joy Spring, to be honest. When she started her podcast, like, I'm not sure, 2017? But I can't remember when. But I
Mm.
think it started really with her because we
Mm-hmm.
love her. Like, we follow her in, like, YouTube. And then she
Well, for
started, well,
yeah,
okay. She
for
started
me,
her.
for me,
Okay.
it started with you introducing Oprah's podcast.
Oh, really? Okay.
It started there,
Okay.
and then I built this habit of listening to podcasts when I'm driving. So that's how I started really going into podcasts. And then yun nga, when Joy Spring started her podcast, sobrang nakarelate tayo to her kasi same age
Range.
range. Yes.
Yes.
Same age range. And yun, since we're both into personal development and we're also struggling in adulting, ang dami nating learnings, ang dami nating realizations that we thought of starting a podcast.
Yes, totoo. I think the idea started last year pa, during the
Yes.
pandemic, when everything was so chaotic. So that's how we initially started the idea of creating our own podcast. But then, I don't know what happened. Bigla lang nag-die down. Nag-die
Mm-hmm.
down lang yung project. And then, just this month, you reached out to me again and said that, let's do it. Like, let's do the
Yes,
podcast.
parang last
Right?
week lang, no?
Yes.
And then, alam mo yun, parang 1 year in the making
Mhm.
or like the thoughts been with us for months pero we weren't able to take action. Parang
Yes.
paputol-putol tayo last year, last 2020. And eto na, parang wala pang, within a week, eto na, we're recording our podcast, we're recording our first episode. So, grabe no, ito yung mga times na yung tagline ng Nike
Just do
applies.
it.
Just do it, diba? Galing.
Yes, exactly. As in, yung mic ko, itong mic ko, I just got it this
Bili mo
week.
lang.
Sobrang bilis talaga. Buti na lang mabilis si Shopee seller.
Thank you, Shopee.
Thank you, Shopee.
Baka
Shopee,
naman.
send the check. Perfect timing din nung sinabi niya na let's do it. Kasi nag-iisip rin ako ng, okay, what's next? And then this is what's next for me and for us. So, yes, finally we have this podcast. And of course, we thought about this last year because of all, as she said, we have all these learnings nga, from listening to our life mentors.
So for me naman, recently kasi parang I I have a lot of learnings na parang gusto kong i-share pero wala akong platform to share it to. I do have a YouTube channel. Shameless plug. The joke lang.
Yes,
Like and
go!
subscribe. I
Go!
do have a YouTube channel, but
Plug!
it takes up a lot of my time. I mean, it needs a lot of time for me to be able to put a video out there. And medyo hindi siya kaya ng workload ko for the meantime. I mean, I'm still planning to go back to vlogging and, share my learnings there as well. Pero for now kasi, wala pa akong time for it. So, I reached out to you and then parang out of nowhere, yun nga, sabi ko, tara na, let's start our podcast. And yes, we're here.
Yay! We're here. Okay.
Since we're into that personal development and, learning things in life, we want to share it to you who's listening. We want to share our experiences na sana yun nga may matutunan kayo kasi there are a lot of things na akala kasi natin ewan ko ako lang, but akala ko
Ako rin, ako rin.
after graduating college, going to the real world, akala ko, okay na, alam ko na lahat. I have
Equipped.
the tools already. Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
equipped in living life and surviving life already. But apparently, real world, hello. Parang,
Hi!
girl,
You're not
girl,
ready yet.
nagkakamali ka dyan.
Sobra. Exactly. The same thing for me. It's like I have a lot of things that when I stepped into the real world, I really wish that when we were in school, it was taught. Like, sana yung mga bagay na to, pinaalam sa atin nung nag-aaral pa
Yes.
tayo at hindi natin kailangan kumita ng pera.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi
Mm-hmm.
it's really different. Like, the responsibilities are real when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to having your own job and having people who depend on you.
Totoo.
Yan. So,
So give
speaking,
an example. What's
yes,
what's a thing that you wish we learned in school?
number one for me talaga, which is, I think now is getting better, but I still wish that they incorporate more on how to process our emotions.
Mm,
Sobrang
totoo.
talaga, it's a big thing for me because growing up, I really didn't know how to process my emotions. Nobody taught me how to process my emotions, not in the family, not sa school. I had to learn it for myself. Because before, like when I was young, I used to like think that crying is a sign of weakness, that being vulnerable is a sign of weakness. So I really hold it in na no, hindi ako iiyak kasi I'm strong. So I had that thinking before, which is not healthy, like physically rin kasi nga sometimes it will manifest physically na magkakasakit because we're holding these emotions inside. But I was holding the emotions inside. So ang hirap talaga as in it took me like I think teenager na ako when I accepted that it's okay to cry. If you're hurt, if you're angry, or if you're happy, if you just want to cry, just cry it out. Because it's your body, well, our body's way to cope up with these emotions. So that's like one thing that I hope was I learned in school. Yeah, ikaw
Totoo.
naman.
Actually, I agree to what you just said na we're supposed to learn how to process our emotions. Especially especially our age during when we're in school. It's the time that our hormones are,
Raging.
hype. Yes, are raging kasi we're developing. So parang mas essential nga siya during that time, not when we're an adult already or we're grown up already. And actually nakakatuwa kasi what I'm doing right now with my students, I'm actually a peace teacher. I'm teaching kasi in a progressive school. So we don't have that usual traditional subjects. And isa sa subject, quote unquote subject is yun nga, peace and letting them know that we have emotions na parang ako, oh my gosh, as early as kindergarten, I'm teaching them already on how to handle their emotions. Tapos ako, when I was a kid, walang gano'n.
Wala talaga, sobrang wala, 'di ba? Parang 'pag umiyak ka, parang, "Ba't ka umiiyak?
Oo,
Ba't ka
parang
umiiyak? Stop."
tama nga yung sabi mo kanina na, yun nga, we weren't taught na negative emotions are normal. Na we all have our negative emotions and we just have to know how to handle them. And most importantly, when we were younger, walang nagva-validate ng emotions natin.
True, sobra. Sobra
Parang
talaga 'yun.
ang importante for them was for us to just stop crying. Pero wala man lang gustong umintindi, why are we even crying in the first place?
Yes.
'Pag magkaaway, ganyan.
Oh my God,
Parang
tayong dalawa ba 'yun?
oh,
'Pag
oo, 'di ba
magkaaway
parang
tayong dalawa.
'pag mag-aaway, mag-sorry na lang kayo sa isa't isa, hug na, gano'n. Ta's wala man lang explanation na bakit ba na-hurt yung friend
Yes.
mo or yung other
Mhm.
person? Bakit ba na-hurt yung cousin mo? Mga gano'n. Parang I think it's really something important, especially yun nga, on younger kids,
Yes.
na sayang kasi we had to
Figure it out for
for
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah, exactly. Yun, I just wanna add na on my list also is awareness on mental health and practices.
Ah,
Parang
that's so
so
true.
connected on what you said a while ago. I think it's also important for schools sana to introduce mental health practices like yoga,
Meditation,
meditation, journaling,
affirmations.
affirmations and journaling. Yeah, tayo, we grew up in a Catholic traditional school. So, we had that journaling, pero it was more about on like writing letters to God, saying sorry to God, pero wala yung journaling na for ourselves, for our own emotions. It's more on the religious side of things. And hindi siya, yun nga, parang connected dun sa sinabi mo kanina, hindi siya nakatulong in helping us regulate our emotions.
So before, 'cause I love to write. So talagang nagsusulat na ako even before. But then, even if I journal, it's more on like maybe a release, but it's not really about finding out why. So it's in a surface level. Para ka lang nag-Dear Diary talaga.
Yeah,
Kuwinento mo lang
exactly.
yung araw mo, bakit ka masaya, ganyan, or ano yung nakakapaglungkot sa'yo na nangyari. But I didn't go deeper. Bakit ako sobrang saya when this happened, or bakit ako sobrang lungkot, or bakit ako sobrang galit when this happened. I just wrote down na nagalit ako. So it
Yeah.
didn't like really help in processing in my emotions ng solidly. Na-release lang siya in a way, but alam mo yun, parang if I knew back then yung patterns ko, then I would have been like a much better person now. Kasi na-process ko na siya, nalaman ko na siya before, nagawan ko na siya ng solutions before, yung gano'n.
Yeah, parang
Hmm,
when we're in school, it was introduced to us as a classroom activity. Parang you just have to do this because it's a requirement
right.
in CLE. CLE ba yun?
Ano yung CLE?
Christian Christian Living Education.
Okay. So
Excuse
CLE.
me.
Sorry, ang naalala ko yung TLE, yung sa home economics.
CLE.
Home economics.
Technology and Livelihood Education. Oh.
Really? Technology ba yun? Hindi ko alam. Sorry, basta yun nga yung mga nagluluto, ganyan. Yun yung
Oo.
naalala ko.
So, going back.
Okay,
Yun nga,
going back.
parang the journaling part, we were doing it for the grades as a requirement dun sa subject. Pero, sinabi lang nila na, good tong journaling na to. Ito yung gawin mo. Write a prayer to God. Pero, like, yung benefits of journaling, asaan? Parang, why is it helpful for me if I do journaling? Walang ganun. So, parang tayo, we ended up doing it just for, tama ka nga, yung sa surface level lang,
Yes, surface.
na for the grades lang, pero hindi natin nag-grasp yung benefits niya. Why is it helpful for us?
Yes. That's
So, yan.
sobrang that's one of the things talaga that I learned now that I'm an adult, yung pagjo-journal for myself and not just on the surface level, but to really go deeper. Because that's how I see na I get to look at the roots of kung ano
Mhm.
ba talaga yung nangyari, kung ano talaga
Mhm.
yung nag-trigger sa akin. And that's how it's not just a band-aid solution now. Dahil alam ko na yon, although usually the process of healing will take more time, but it's better because yun na yung long-lasting. Hindi na
Mhm.
lang siya band-aid or na-heal na siya talaga fully. So yun yung advantage ng journaling for me. And
Sa'tin
aside,
kasi
yeah, from
Sa'tin kasi before, 'di ba, even the meditation, it was for the retreat or ginagawa lang natin siya whenever we're in the
true.
retreat. Yung close your
Mental,
eyes, imagine something ganyan-ganyan. Imagine a peaceful place, ganyan. Ginagawa lang natin siya during retreat. It wasn't a regular thing
yes.
na na sana what they could have done siguro for me is to incorporate it in the morning routine. 'Di ba may morning routine tayo
Yes.
before
Yes,
na
with the flag ceremony.
oo. And then, um, yung prayer ng school natin, and then mission and vision. Sana
Yes.
meron din time for self-affirmation, 'di ba? Ang ganda nun
Yes.
na parang you're going
Yes.
to
Oh my
start your
God, that's
day
so
in
true.
class na you're going to start writing your self-affirmations for the day na I'm going to finish this. I'm going to
Yes.
be able to remember the things that I need to remember in my exam later. 'Di ba? Sayang.
Sobra. Sobrang helpful talaga sa akin ng affirmations. Like, it is if I'm going to choose just one of all these techniques,
Mhm.
kumbaga, for mental health, I'll pick affirmations. Sobrang I saw how I grew because of these affirmations. Na up until now, I still do my affirmations kasi I still have all this old programming inside me that I need to purge out of my system. Kasi if not, the pattern will just continue to show up in my life, which
Mhm.
is not good. It's like para yung sinasabi nila na until you don't learn your lesson, it will always like show up and tell you that you need to learn this. And for me, yun nga, affirmation is one way to like learn the lesson.
By the way,
Mhm.
just to give a background to our listeners also, we went to the same school.
Oh
Pero
yes,
hindi kami
same
same since
batch.
hindi kami same batch. So, yeah.
That's true. Oh my god.
Kaya relate kami dun sa mga routines ng school.
Yes, so yun. So we went to the same grade school and high school. So that's yung pinaghuhugutan namin. That's where our hugot is. But we love our school. We love
Yes,
our school.
yes.
We're not like saying that we didn't have like one of the best days of our lives there. We did. We really did. It helped us grow into the person we are today. We just
Mhm.
wish that they can incorporate it like sa whole education system sa buong mundo.
Mm.
Kumbaga, hindi lang
Or
sa
baka ano
Pilipinas.
na rin, baka iba na rin yung times ngayon, 'no?
Yes.
Kasi medyo ilang years na rin tayong graduate.
That's true,
So,
that's true. Baka naman naka-incorporate na nga rin
oo,
sa
baka
morning
nandun na
routine nila
rin.
'no? Nasa
Mhm.
morning routine na rin nila ang self-affirmations and it's nice, 'di ba? Like, yung going back na sa morning they do the self-affirmations and then by the end of the day, they can do like a recap of their day.
Mhm.
What happened that made them happy or what happened na sana gusto nilang baguhin, yung gano'n. 'Di
May
ba
self-reflection
yes,
time.
exactly.
Mm. So, what else? De joke lang. So, what are the other adulting things that you wish you learned in school?
Okay, this is one thing again that I really wish was taught in school. Well, I hope now na tinuturo na nila more, but it's to handle our finances. Like, really, gusto ko talaga na sana natutunan ko siya, like how to properly allot my money, where to properly put my money. Kasi before, like, save, 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 as in sobrang kuripot ko. As in, sobra, save lang, save lang, save lang. And then, bigla lang parang may switch. Na parang, okay, after saving, splurge, splurge, splurge. So, parang wala rin. Nawala rin yung, wala ring point yung pagsa-save kasi na-splurge lang siya. Tapos, pag after, wala na namang ipon. Hindi siya napunta sa parang goals. Walang financial goals. Hindi siya
Mhm.
naturo na, dapat since bata ka pa, have a financial goal. Kahit as small as gusto mong bilhin yung toy na to. So you save for it, 'di ba? Parang you allot your money for it. Yun yung reality. That's what we learn in real life na kailangan talaga nating ayusin yung finances natin kasi meron talaga tayong real responsibilities. We have bills to pay, we have rent to pay, we have, of course, luxury, gusto natin mag-travel, ganyan. Kailangan din natin mag-save up for our retirement. Tapos kung may gusto natin ng family, kailangan din natin mag-save for that. Kung gusto ng wedding, kailangan mag-save for that. Gusto mag-travel. Sabi ko yata yung travel. Pero halatang-halatang gusto nang mag-travel.
Mag-travel.
Pero ayun nga, 'di ba? There's a lot of things that we need to like budget and save for. Kasi hindi naman tayo pinanganak with a silver spoon. We're not like
Totoo.
Bill Gates rich. So
Mhm.
we need to learn that. And I think kahit sila rin naman, kaya nga sila ganun kayaman because they know how to really work with money. They know how to allot money, they know how to make money. And yun, 'di ba? Like the stock market, isa pa yun, na parang sana tinuro siya. Sana tinuro talaga siya sa school, hindi lang sa mga accounting and finance courses.
Yes. Parang we had this ako in my
Mhm,
batch, we had this accountancy quick course in TLE before nung high school.
mhm.
And then we were taught how to balance the
Ha.
financial statement. Pero parang, wala nga akong ganito kalaking pere.
Totoo
Ano
na
ba yung benefit ng pagbabalanse ng financial statement?
That's true. Alam mo, oo nga. Naalala ko din 'yan, yung TLE rin namin. Sobrang nakakainis kasi kailangan yung exam, kailangan mong ma-balance, 'di ba?
Oo.
Kailangan mong makita kung saan ilalagay yung expenses and yung income, tapos kailangan by the end of that, it's balance. Pero hindi nila tinuro na, okay, kailangan ano, 20% ang ilalaan mo for mortgage para sa bahay, mga ganyan. Or kailangan
Totoo.
15% ng income mo ise-save mo lagi, na kailangan talaga ikaw yourself is the first person you pay when you get your
Mhm.
paycheck. Kasi
Mhm.
nga, it's for you, tapos kailangan mo rin mag-save for your retirement, 'di ba? Parang mas useful yung gano'n kaysa yung sasakit yung ulo ko, tas kasi yung long test hindi ko ma-balance yung expense at saka yung income.
Actually, ang funny pa nga kasi, 'di ba, I'm a preschool teacher again. I was looking for books for
Yes.
kids. And then I saw this book. Ang title niya is Economics for Babies. Para ko, what?
What?
Buti pa sila may book na gano'n. No, high school ako walang gano'n. So, the book simplified um money, or like the concept of money for young, yeah, for kids. And then nandun din sa book na yon, parang tinuturuan nila yung kids how to save money, why is it important to save money. Bakit ngayon lang tong book na to? Bakit for
Where were
babies
you?
lang? Bakit wala pang teens, ganyan? Pero for sure meron. For sure meron. Pero
Yes.
alam mo yun, when we were younger, walang ganun.
Yes.
Ewan ko, siguro because we grew up nga in a traditional school din. So baka iba yung environment sa progressive schools.
Yes, and I think that's also one thing, no? Kasi before, hindi pa talaga uso yung progressive schools. Like,
Mhm.
sobrang konti. That's why most of the kids go to traditional schools. Which I'm
Mhm.
grateful for na nakapag-aral ako talaga. Because
Mhm.
parang education is really one thing na lagi nga nilang sinasabi, yan lang ang imapapamana ko sa'yo.
Oo.
Right? Because it's something people can take away from us, our education, our knowledge na, and the things we learned along the way.
Yung next tip ko is actually connected to somehow connected to your previous tip. Sa'kin naman, one thing that I wish na natutunan ko sa school is what are the essential government IDs and their benefits.
Totoo, oh my God. Sobrang dami kasi. This is specifically for the Philippines, ha?
Oo, parang
Specific
hindi
to
ko
sa Philippines.
parang nagulat ako after college, I had to I had to apply for SSS. I had to good thing I had my driver's license. Sobrang nakatulong yung driver's license. Pero what if I didn't have, 'di ba? Parang ang hirap lalo na after college nga. Parang 'pag mag-a-apply ka ng trabaho, they will ask you for government IDs na parang, "Wait lang, college ID lang yung meron ako." Actually ako sinuwerte lang din ako kasi my first job,
Mhm.
magaling yung ano nila, system nila sa HR. So yung HR mismo yung naglakad or nag-process ng TIN ko, Pag-ibig, SSS. Pero parang latter part of my career ko na na-realize yung benefits of having those.
Oh, that's true.
So, I wish, yun nga, in addition to um, schools explaining what are the essential government IDs, I hope they can also go into the benefits of each one. Kasi you're also gonna pay taxes for that.
That's
So,
true.
parang, anong benefit nito? Bakit ko babayaran tong pag-ibig? Ano yung pwede kong makuha
Makuha.
from this?
Yes.
And then also yun nga, your tax identification number. Parang ano yung makukuha ko from this and also the SSS. Mine, nakita ko lang or parang for me, I just saw the benefits of it through my family, through my parents. Pero outside of it, wala na. Wala ko alam.
Well, actually, for me, what helped is attending this Ateneo leadership
Mm.
program because they really told us the benefits of each one. So dun na ko nalaman talaga na, oh my God, meron pala, sobrang ganda pala ng benefit ng Pag-ibig MP2. So,
Totoo.
sobrang, alam mo yun, alam mo, we need to make a topic dito. The benefits. Totoo. Kasi nga, sayang. Alam mo yung, at least sa'yo, your parents know about this. Sa akin, I need to tell my parents about it na, no, this is actually good. It's much better. Look at the rate. 'Di ba? Kasi they all have this thinking na, ano ba 'yan, para saan ba 'yan? Kasi hindi rin tinuro sa kanila, 'di ba? They're
Mm.
like, "Ano 'yan, dagdag gastos lang 'yan, eh." But actually, may benefit siya which we can get at kapag kailangan na natin, 'di ba?
Mm. Siguro itong topic na 'to, they could have included it in college, 'di ba? Yung 'di
Yes.
ba 'pag fourth year or graduating ka na,
Mhm.
they will teach you how to make a resume or a CV.
Yes.
Sana in-include din nila yon. Like what are the
Yes.
things that you need, essential government IDs that you need
Yes, and
in the real world.
how to actually apply for tax, how to pay your tax and like process your tax, especially if you're self-employed.
Mhm.
Kasi it's easy, well, not always easy, but mostly it's easier for companies. So if you're an employee of a company, it's easier for you to like process your tax because the company's HR will do it for you. But what if you're self-employed? What if you're a
Mhm.
freelancer? Kailangan mong gawin yung tax sa sarili mo. So paano, 'di ba? Tapos so kailangan mo talagang malaman ano yung processes, saan ka pupunta, ano yung forms, ano yung IDs na kailangan.
Tsaka sayang talaga kasi you're paying for the taxes pero hindi mo alam yung benefits.
Mhm.
Sobrang sayang if
Ang
hindi
laki
mo
pa naman
alam.
ng tax sa Pilipinas. Sobrang laki.
Totoo. So parang yun, get the most out of of what you're paying.
Yes, that's true. That's exactly it.
May iba ka
Meron
pa
ka
bang
pa?
tips?
Wala
Ay,
na
tips.
ako. Okey na.
Tips. May iba ka
Not
pa bang things na you wish you learned in school?
wala na. That's it. Well, I mean, meron pa for sure yung iba, pero I think this podcast is already too long to
Sorry, may isa
discuss
pa ako.
all. Okay, sige, go. Puwede pa, we can do one more, go.
Okay, so last on my list is somehow connected to having the knowledge of what are the essential government IDs. For me naman is knowing your local government.
Ah, true. That's true.
So recently ko lang din na-appreciate yung me knowing my local government. Kasi here in the Philippines, specifically in Metro Manila, how the government is trying to resolve the pandemic or at least try to get through this pandemic is through local government's own efforts. So, like yesterday, I just told Zen, my boyfriend, na grabe pala yung impact na ang laki ng Quezon City, 'di ba?
Yes.
Tapos parang recently ko lang na-realize na si Herbert Bautista yung naging mayor nila before.
Mm-hmm.
Parang, what? Parang, pa, ano? Parang, ang laki eh. Ang laki ng Quezon City. Paano niya na-handle yun? Anong nangyari sa Quezon City during that time? So parang as a young teenager, siguro, why do I think it can help you, like, knowing your local government? Like, for example, yung transportation lang. Like, if I want to, di ba, tayo, we grew up in Marikina. Ano lang, parang something that your city is proud of, like yung products natin. And then, parang yung little detail lang na if I want to go to Bayan to, buy some stuff sa palengke or like sa city hall, how can I go there from school? Alam mo
Mm-hmm.
yun? Parang yung
Ah, true.
transportation na, o sakay ka sa jeep na 'to, itong jeep na 'to papunta 'to
Mm-hmm.
sa lugar na 'to. Yung mga
Oo.
gano'n, simple things like that. And it can encourage kasi you involving yourself in your community. Where I'm teaching right now kasi, again, it's a progressive school and they really give importance to involving yourself in the community. Parang we treat the parents, the work, yung where the parents work. We treat our school as a community. And grabe yung impact kasi parang at an early age, you can already establish or try to build your advocacy as a young kid.
That's so nice.
Ang
Grabe.
ganda.
Sobrang ganda. Puwede ba akong mag-apply sa school niyo? Gusto ko din
Tara!
maging part ng progressive school. Sobrang ganda 'no, kasi nga ano siya, I think yun din yung isang advantage ng homeschool in a way,
Mm.
right? Kasi hindi siya stuck in a certain system. So matuturo mo talaga yung important things sa bata, which is one of those is what you said, is the advocacy. Because I think sobrang importante having an advocacy in life. Something that like is beyond us.
Mhm.
That what we, kumbaga, what, not just that our purpose. Because I think our purpose is like wherever we
Lifelong.
are,
Yes.
right? Yeah, and it's lifelong. It's wherever we're at the moment. And then it's also a journey. It's a lifelong journey. So it's part of it, pero it's just that having an advocacy, para bang you have a reason nga to, na a bigger reason kung ba't gusto mo mag-serve. It helps us to be more grateful,
Mm.
kumbaga, because we can see that we're affecting other people's lives and they're affecting us as well. Yun.
Tsaka at an early age din kasi parang it will help us establish our values also,
True.
'no?
Oo,
Na
totoo.
and knowing your values is
It's
a really
essential.
great tool. Is a really great tool when you're out there in the real world.
Mhm.
Kasi I swear if you don't know your values, malo-lost ka talaga sa real
It's
world.
true. That's why we always like go back to our values to keep us grounded.
Mhm.
Kasi sobrang daming noise, kumbaga, out here sa real world. Sobrang daming ideas, sobrang daming, alam mo yun, ang dami talagang voices telling us what we need to, who we need to be, what we need to do, and it's really up to us, inside us, sa values talaga natin, to help us go through life na hindi tayo na nagiging masamang tao.
Mhm.
Yun.
Totoo. And sa ano din, involvement in community. Parang before kasi on my end, when I was studying, even in college, parang wala masyadong community involvement. So when I started working, ang laki bigla ng mundo na parang ano
Ah,
yung mako-contribute ko dito?
true.
Na it could have been less overwhelming siguro
Mm-hmm.
if I know how I could have contributed in my community. Parang gano'n. I hope I
Yes.
made sense.
Yes, yes. So so much. I completely got it na if the advocacy was installed in us at a younger age, we wouldn't be too overwhelmed when we're already out here to actually serve because we already
Mhm.
know how we can serve,
Mhm.
especially if we're involved nga in our local government, because that's where we like grew up. We already know people, involving ourselves in the grassroots.
Ganda. Yes!
Yeah. Woo, amazing. Okay, now summarize.
Ikaw ang summarize.
Okay, sige. I-summarize natin. So, eto na po.
Yung sa'yo or gusto mo both of us? Ano ba?
Both of us na. I can
Sige.
summarize both of us, and kung may ma-miss
Sige,
ako, I'll
go.
just tell it. To wrap it off, I'll give a summary of what we said na the adulting things that we wish we learned in school. So, number one is how to process our emotions, particularly our negative emotions. And then number two is mental health, mental awareness, and affirmations. And then number three is how to do our finances and to know how to actually treat money, kumbaga. And then next is being involved in our community, our local government, and then having and knowing the benefits of all our government IDs.
That's a wrap. We hope this episode is helpful for you in any way. If you have questions, suggestions, and comments, feel free to tag us at Chica's Radio in Instagram and Twitter.
Also, if you want to continue the conversation, head on to our Facebook group, Chicuz Radio. That's CHICUZ Radio. See you there, and thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Let's make Chica again soon. Paalam!